Jordan Peterson has been a controversial figure in recent years, primarily due to his views on gender and personal responsibility. He has been accused of being transphobic and promoting a patriarchal society.
So about 2 months ago, I made these videos. I did it because I was trying to articulate my concerns. Now, what happened as a consequence of making these videos was really quite unexpected to me. There's been 140 print articles published about this, whatever this is, in the last 2 months, and then dozens and dozens of YouTube videos and television interviews and radio interviews and demonstrations. Millions of people have been tuning into this online. And so obviously something's up, and I can tell you that what's up isn't only a discussion about Bill C-16 and about gendered pronouns. You know, sometimes when you're having a debate or discussion...
However, many people, especially men, have found his message of personal responsibility and self-improvement inspiring. Peterson argues that men need to take responsibility for their kids and work towards being better individuals. He believes that society needs to value individual or any individual responsibilities and promote the idea that people should work hard to achieve their goals. And his book 12 Rules for Life is a bestseller and has resonated with many people around the world. Moreover, guys, Peterson's message is supported by scientific, proved research. Studies have shown that people who take responsibility for their actions and strive to improve themselves tend to be happier and more successful in life. So the idea of responsibility, of personal responsibility, is also a core principle in many philosophical and religious traditions. In addition, Peterson's message of self-improvement is not exclusive to men. He argues that everyone, regardless of their gender, can benefit from taking responsibility for their lives and working towards being better individuals. He encourages people to focus on their own individual goals and not compare themselves to others. Furthermore, Peterson's message of personal responsibility is especially important in today's society, where victimhood culture is becoming increasingly prevalent, and many people, especially young people, are told to blame others for their problems instead of taking responsibility for their own lives. Peterson's message encourages people to take control of their lives and work towards achieving their goals, which is much more empowering message than promoting victimhood culture. Guys, there are really several reasons why some people dislike Jordan Peterson, and these reasons, they vary depending on how you ask, or about, it depends on who you ask. So we can talk about some of these common criticisms that have been leveled against him. We have the views on gender.
The refusal to use the personal pronoun that is an expression of the person's gender identity can constitute discrimination. So now you see what's happened is that I haven't refused to use someone's gender-neutral pronouns. I said that I would refuse. So it's not even the refusal itself that's producing the letters. It's my declared intent to engage in the refusal. And as far as I was concerned, what I was essentially doing was criticizing a piece of legislation that had not yet been passed. But the university's legal department decided that all that was sufficient for them to distance themselves from me and to engage in disciplinary activity.
On the most of controversial things about Jordan Peterson, his views on gender, some people see him as anti-transgender, while others believe he is simply defending free speech and academic freedom. Peterson has argued that gender identity should be based on biological sex, and he has opposed government legislation that would require people to use preferred pronouns for transgender individuals. These views have been heavily criticized by some activists and members of the LGBTQ+ community.
I truly believe that these made-up pronouns, of which there are many, dozens in fact, and there's no consensus on them.
I was just going to ask if you could go back to the point about the analogy. between the racial slur and the
I don't think there's any
use.
analogy at all.
But
I
that's
think
what
the difference
people wanna
between,
hear you
I'm
on.
talking about compelled speech. There's a difference between saying that there's something you can't say and saying that there are things that you have to say. And I regard these made-up pronouns, all of them, as the neologisms of radical PC authoritarians. Do you understand that? And I'm not a fan of that sort of person. And the reason I'm not a fan of that sort of person is because I've done my homework. I've read everything I can get my hands on in the development of authoritarian political systems, and I know the literature inside out and backwards. And I am not going to be a mouthpiece for language that I detest. And that's that.
Also, criticisms from the political view. Peterson is often associated with conservative and libertarian politics, which can be off-putting to some people. He has been critical of what he sees as, how do we call that? As the excesses of political correctness and identity politics. And he has argued that social justice movements are undermining individual rights and freedoms. And some people, for that reason, are viewing him as a polarizing figure who is promoting regressive and divisive ideas. Among the criticisms also that Jordan Peterson got, the controversial statements. Peterson, in fact, has made several controversial statements over the years, which have earned him criticism and backlash from many people. For example, he has argued that men and women have different personalities and aptitudes due to biological differences, that monogamous relationships are the foundation of Western civilization, and that traditional gender roles are essential for society and the stability of society. These statements have been interpreted by some as sexist and regressive. Also, some of Peterson's fans and followers have been associated with the alt-right movement, which has really led to accusations that he is promoting far-right and white supremacist ideas. While Peterson himself has rejected these associations and has spoken out against far-right ideologies, some people view him as part of a broader trend of radicalization and reactionary politics. Well, guys, you just have to note something, that it is important that all of these criticisms are not really necessarily representative of everyone's view on Jordan Peterson. And there are also many people who admire him and find value in his work. So ultimately, whether you agree or disagree with Peterson's ideas, it is clear that he has sparked a lot of debate and discussions about some of the most pressing issues of our time. If you really like this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the ring bell for more content like this. Leave us your comments in the section below so we can know more about your opinions, guys. See you in the next video and stay curious.